Use confirmed opt-in. Whenever we talk about good email practices, we always say email list quality beats quantity. But we meet many marketers who are scared to use confirmed opt-in. Here's how it usually goes. Question: but won't it make my list smaller? Answer: probably. Question: won't people be angry having to click the link to get my emails? Answer: some might. Question: so why on earth would you suggest using confirmed opt-in? Answer: because the benefits outweigh the costs. At least, that's what our data suggests. When you compare the average email marketing results by industry with the use of double opt-in by industry data, you can see a link. Industries that use confirmed opt-in more often usually outperform those who don't. The same goes for places with stricter laws like Germany or Europe in general. They outperform the locations where marketers don't have to pay the same amount of attention to who joins their email list and how. At the very least, it will positively affect your deliverability, which is still a big win. Make unsubscribing easy. As an email marketer, one of your main goals is to grow your email list. And while you're investing a lot of time and resources into getting people to sign up for your emails, you also need to understand that they may unsubscribe at some point. There may be many reasons for this. For example, they no longer can use your services because they moved to a new location, or they already bought a similar product elsewhere. Whatever the reason is, there's no point in holding a grudge and forcing people to stay on your list. By making the unsubscribe process difficult, you're taking an awful risk. Best case scenario, they'll ignore your emails and move them to a folder they never open. Worst case scenario, they'll report your emails as spam. Both of these outcomes lead to bad deliverability and lower return from your email marketing campaigns. So, here are a few pointers that'll help you ensure your unsubscribe process is easy. Don't require your subscribers to log into your app to unsubscribe, as they may have lost their access to it. Tell your subscribers why they're receiving your emails in the first place. For example, in your emails footer on the unsubscribe page. Provide a 1 or 2 click unsubscribe process through a hyperlink in your message footer. Use a common phrase like unsubscribe as your hyperlink text so people can quickly find it in the message. Make the unsubscribe link big enough so that people using mobile devices will be able to click on it easily. Avoid using dark patterns or tricky copy on the unsubscribe page. Use lead magnets. With more competition, building an email list isn't as easy as it once was. It's not only challenging because your audience has far more information sources to choose from, it's also because some marketers have abused the privilege of getting into their subscribers' inbox. They've sent too many irrelevant, uninteresting, or worse, misleading email campaigns. That means website visitors might think twice before filling out a form, and they'll expect far more value in return for their email address. It's hard to prove your newsletter is worth it in a simple web form, but a lead magnet can be a great way to offer value up front. Lead magnets, also known as incentives, freebies, or bribes, are the best way to overcome people's hesitation. It can be a downloadable ebook, special industry report, calendar, or another enticing giveaway. Here are some lead magnet ideas to inspire you. Since there are so many to choose from, you'll need to test them to see which one gets the biggest conversion rate. Here's a lead magnet we like. Want these 4 books for free? Every month, one random new subscriber receives a bundle of resource-packed books about entrepreneurship, startups, marketing, and SaaS. It's a low-cost freebie, especially as there's no guarantee to win. But the value of winning is relatively high if you look at it from an individual user's perspective. What's also interesting is these books probably don't relate to the newsletter content, but they allow the business to position itself as an industry authority. And that's a pretty smart marketing move. Drive click-throughs with engaging content. What's so special about emails you consider click-worthy? If you look at your favorite newsletters, you'll probably find some common threads. They either offer great products, interesting stories, thought-provoking articles, funny videos, or something else. Me, I like text-based emails with a single call to action that takes me to the full version of the article or a video tutorial. Ask your subscribers the same, and you'll likely get a bunch of different answers. But what are some common features? Our data suggests emails with video observe click-through rates of up to 8%. Emails with images perform better than those without. There's over 1 percentage point difference in click-through rates, 4.11% versus 2.87%. So you need to analyze your email campaigns and see what worked well in the past. If you haven't tried videos, animated GIFs, interactive content, personalization, or emojis, it might be time to give them a go. It's a cliche, but you have to get creative. Test your emails before hitting send. Don't make mistakes. That would be a very unhelpful email marketing tip. So instead, let's say you should test and preview your emails before each send. We've all seen emails with broken subject lines, images, or inaccurate personalization. The ones that you call Emma when your name is Bob. The ones that say you'd look great in a dress when you prefer cargo shorts. Or ones that are so broken you don't know where to look. But all of these mistakes can be avoided. Take the time to preview your emails in popular email clients, make sure they won't land in the junk folder, and send the message to yourself before it reaches your entire list. It's easy and only takes a few minutes. And in GetResponse, you can use the email creator to run an inbox preview test in just a few clicks. It pays to double-check your emails for silly mistakes. Of course, you might mess up on purpose, as a stunt or joke. Just make sure it's a good one, and don't do it too often. Use a professional email marketing tool. Of course, we'd say that. After all, among many other features, GetResponse offers email marketing software. But that's not why I've listed this best practice here. I often see that marketers start their businesses by sending their marketing messages from their own company domain using a tool like Outlook or Apple Mail. Your business grows, and so does your email list. At some point, you start noticing people aren't replying to your messages, even though just a moment ago they seemed interested in your offer. Their change of behavior often may not be related to your sales pitch being ineffective, but in how you're sending your email campaigns. Email marketing tools like GetResponse help you not only to make your emails pretty, with free mobile responsive templates and features like the email creator, but also help you manage your reputation and deliver your messages effectively. Not to mention the fact that email automation can help you measure your campaign's performance and automatically manage your email list hygiene. If you want your emails to avoid the junk folder, note down this tip. Audit your communication regularly. Automated email campaigns often get sold as something you can set and forget. That's not entirely true. What you put into your email communication isn't always going to be evergreen. Your language, things you're referencing, or images you're using may all become not only outdated, but also feel insulting or opportunistic. With so many things happening in the world around us, we need to be careful about our messaging and how others can receive it. So make auditing your automated email communication a standard procedure, something that you do every quarter or two. This way, you'll ensure that your messaging stays relevant, engaging, and most importantly, considerate. Your audience will value you for this and remain loyal to your brand. Design emails for accessibility. It's easy to forget you have a diverse audience. Serving them goes beyond simple segmentation and personalization. You also want to make sure your marketing messages are accessible. According to the World Health Organization, over 2.2 billion people live with some form of visual impairment. Odds are some of your subscribers do too. There are ways to make your emails easier for them to access. First, add alt text to your images. People using a screen reader can then understand the content better. Tip: add a period after the image text. The screen reader will then pause so it's easier to understand your email. You can also check the image contrast ratio to improve readability. Focus on the right metrics. What do you want to achieve with your email marketing campaigns? Is it more opens or conversions? How about more revenue per email sent? You need to set the right objectives. The email open rate is often considered a vanity metric. The click-through rate is more actionable, but it still doesn't tell you how much revenue your campaigns generate. 16. Use a matching pre-header. Do you remember we said the sender name, subject line, and the pre-header are the first things subscribers see? Even if half your subscribers open your message on the subject line alone, the rest are swayed by other things. While they'll likely see the sender name first, the pre-header still plays a part. This is especially the case for email campaigns with shorter subject lines, since the pre-header will take up more space. The pre-header can enhance your email subject line and increase your open rates. In fact, our data shows messages with pre-headers have average open rates of around 29%. That's almost 7 percentage points more than emails without pre-headers. Yet surprisingly, only 11% of messages have one. That's a missed opportunity. Take a look at these examples. Email subject line: drop everything, site-wide sale, now. Pre-header text: It's our birthday, party popper emoji. Site-wide sale plus free shipping and returns to celebrate. Subject line, it's now or never. Pre-header, only 8 hours left on these Cyber Monday deals. See how the pre-headers add more information to sway someone to open up? Here's a creative subject line and pre-header combo that caught our chief wordsmith's eye. And the winner in the best Valentine's Day subject line pre-header combo category is, @Frazee, why am I not surprised? So pay attention to your pre-header. Inspire action. Finally, to be successful in email marketing, your subscribers must take action. But sometimes you need to give them a little push. When designing your emails, make sure recipients know what to do next. Is it register for a webinar? Download an ebook? Or maybe share your story with their network? Whatever it is, ask for it. To do that, you'll need calls to action, or CTAs. These can be buttons or simple text. It's best if you test them. The fewer calls to action, the more attention they'll get. Their design and placement also matter. Keep them visible and easily accessible, especially on smaller devices like mobile phones. To make your calls to action more powerful, play around with the copy and elements around them. For example, you could add a countdown timer or mention when the offer expires, or add a testimonial for credibility. The good news is there are many more ways to increase your click-through rate. 18. Use the thank you page strategically. What do you want your users to do next after filling out your subscription form? Do you want them to get used to opening your emails? Perhaps even mark you as the safe sender? Or maybe you want them to visit your blog instead. Your thank you page can help you achieve all that. That is, if you use it strategically. Think of it this way. The user has just given you a direct hint they trust you and want to receive content from you. It'd be unwise to waste that opportunity and offer them nothing in exchange. Your thank you pages can do a lot of good for you. They can help you increase your deliverability and open rates. They can also help you drive traffic to your most important pages. Not to mention the fact, they can increase your conversions. 19. Make your emails skimmable. We're all busy people these days. We're also being distracted by different things, people and marketing messages every single moment. That's why we often choose the easiest and quickest path to get the job done, whatever that job is. This approach applies to reading emails and cleaning our inbox too. That's why, if you want your emails to convert better, you need to make sure to communicate your message as quickly as possible. Structure your content in a way that makes it easy to read and understand. Use bullet points, headlines, lists, and the pre-header text to clearly and quickly state your main message. If you do it well, you'll likely see an increase in your email engagement metrics, like the click-to-open rates. One brand I know does this well is Casper. In their email, you don't even need to scroll below the fold to understand the offer. In one sentence, presented in a highly visible place, they've covered everything that matters. Our 5th birthday only happens once. 10% off any order with a mattress, now through 4/29. This approach is great for 2 reasons. It saves the subscribers time, they can move along if they're not interested, and lets the brand quickly capture the attention of those who are in the buying mood. Simple, yet effective tactic. An email best practice worth adopting. Use targeted pop-ups. Despite how you feel about them, pop-up forms are one of the most effective methods for building email lists. Plus, there's a way to make them less annoying for those who aren't looking to join another email list. The solution? Targeting. When building your web forms, ask yourself these questions before they go live. When should the web form appear? Where should it be hidden? Should it be shown to the same user again? And if so, how often? Since you don't want to irritate your users, you'll want to present your option forms only when it makes sense. Sometimes that'll be a few seconds after they've entered the page, rarely. Sometimes it'll be after they've scrolled through 50 to 75% of your article, which may be a sign that they're engaged, after a certain amount of time or as they're about to leave the page. Tip: to choose the best time to display your web forms, look at the average time users spend on that page and your bounce rate. We like to set up our forms to only come up when users have shown they're enjoying the content they're reading. Deciding how often your forms should be shown to each user tends to get a little trickier. If one of your users fills out the form, then, of course, you don't need to show it to them again. But what if they clicked and closed the form without leaving their details? They may have done it because they're not interested in signing up or they just weren't ready. Both situations are different. And there's no single solution. You could add a secondary sign-up form for those who change their minds and would like to opt in. You could also show the web form once every user session, but that could be annoying for those who visit your page regularly. Another alternative is to limit how often your forms appear after someone closes them, for example, every 14 days, or only show it to those who come from a specific traffic source, for example, organic traffic, and campaign, like specific PPC campaigns. Tip: rather than spending days on choosing the perfect time to display your forms, consider testing different approaches on some of your high-traffic pages. Pull people in with your header. Getting people to open your email is just the first step. In order to get them to click through your offer, you need to pull them in and get them to scroll through your message. A great way of doing this is by making good use of the above-the-fold section, mainly your header. Let's consider the email header from the famous card game Exploding Kittens. Be sure to take a look at the visual for this entry, as you'll get a far better idea of what we're discussing here. It clearly stands out. Most of our emails don't look like a cartoon, so it catches our attention right away. And there's more. The cat in the picture wants to say something to us, but we won't know what until we scroll further down. So what do? If we're into that kind of humor, then we definitely scroll further down and learn about their offer. Of course, this kind of informal approach won't work for every brand. But we can consider a similar situation. A big headline says a product is backed by popular demand. It makes you think whatever it is, if people asked about it, it must be good, right? So we look further down and see a bubble that says, I heard it was the fastest selling limited edition ever. And again, you're thinking, okay, it went out of stock really fast. Now it definitely must be good. So what do? You keep scrolling and continue to learn about the offer. These are just two examples, but I think you get the idea. The email header needs to get people hooked on your email. It needs to capture their attention and convince them to keep scrolling down. Pro tip, keep in mind most email headers contain a call to action link, and that's what you should do too. From our experience, most email recipients click on the first button they see in the email, especially in e-commerce, and continue their journey on your website. So make sure, always, to add that hyperlink to your header image and drive people to your website. Make better use of the footer. Most email marketers use their email footer suboptimally. They use it to provide all the legally required information like the unsubscribe button or their company address, and that's about it. Yet there's so much more you could be doing with your footer, and it could be helping you drive more conversion too. Magic Spoon's footer, for example, carries a promise of happiness. Demand Curve's footer tells you about the team working there. Another of our favorite examples tells you that if you reply to their message, you're going to reach a real person. And there's more you could add to your footer to drive conversion. Here are a few more ideas you could include in your footer. A quote from your customer acting as a social proof. Logos of the sites that featured you. Your unique selling proposition, like 100% money-back guarantee or worldwide free returns. An option to review your message. Results of your latest newsletter giveaway. Your next steps. If you feel you're ready to start running effective email programs, to build and segment high-quality lists, design high-converting email templates, continuously test and optimize your campaigns, I've got good news for you. You can do all of this inside of one single tool, and it's completely free, no credit card required. If any of that sounds interesting to you, just sign up for a free trial of GetResponse and start making some real results.